We are Nerd Cult Online, and this is the Garfield Pinball table from Pinball Fx.
Good morning, sunshine.
Now, immediately, this table just draws you in. It looks exactly like I remember the old cartoon looking in the 90s that I remember coming home from, I think it was grade school or junior high, and watching, and definitely fits in with that vibe. The dialogue for Garfield throughout it, as well as John, definitely sound like I remember their voices sounding. Now, when it comes to the voices, I honestly was hoping for Bill Murray, because I felt that the live action quasi-animated movie that he voiced Garfield in definitely fit Garfield more in like the comic style than I felt the animated series did. But I loved the animated series. So, the fact that it didn't have Bill Murray wasn't a huge detriment to the game, or the table rather. And one thing I really liked is that the table is very dynamic. And specifically what I mean by that is like that pink ramp right there, as well as the kind of teal one on the left. When you hit those a certain number of times, I believe it's 3 each, they actually pop up and give you a little cavity inside where you actually aim and get the ball in to lock it in. And once you get both sides locked in, that's what allows you to do the multi-ball. And overall, those 2 ramps are actually pretty easy to hit consistently. And so setting up that multi-ball to really rack up the points is pretty easy early on in the game. And now going back to the overall look, I mean, again, growing up with the cartoon series, I mean, this absolutely fit the vibe. And I love just that general nostalgic feel playing this table, just calling back to it. I can never remember that pinkish lavender cat and that's in the window in the back. She makes an appearance. I have not seen if Nermal does. I'm hoping that she does, and that you get to ship her to Abu Dhabi as one of your challenges. If that is not in this table, I will be disappointed, because that was one of my favorite running gags in that series, is just always shipping her off to Abu Dhabi. And so, I'm really hoping that that's in here, but I didn't progress far enough to actually see that happen. So if she is in the game, awesome. I can't wait to eventually unlock her and see how that unfolds. And overall, again, it totally fits the vibe. I actually had a good time on this table. The sheer number of places for the ball to go can be a little overwhelming at first. One thing I really like with that regard is that spinner in the center of the pizza. That actually makes hitting some of those more difficult ramps actually easier in some ways, because it essentially gives you a new angle to hit them from. Overall, though, I had a great time with this table, and definitely looking forward to seeing what secrets, what characters it has to hold.